Hi, this is Dave Kettlewell, your host of mastersofharmonica.com. And I have with me today Frederica Cohen, who is a 28-year professional music educator. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
And I'm so excited to be able to talk with you about the instrument that we're reviewing today, because I think that truly it is unlike any other instrument that I've ever played and unlike any harmonica. Would you agree with that?
Definitely.
Okay, well, here is the actual harmonica. And again, this is a Seidel Saxony. This particular model is the orchestral tuning, which if you picture a 16-hole chromatic, you cut off the top 2 holes and the bottom 2 holes, so you actually are starting at G on the low end, okay? And then you go up to, that would be F sharp, wouldn't it?
Yes.
On the high end. So they make one that's called C tuning, where it just, they lop off the bottom 4 holes. But this is the orchestral with the shiny cover, which I'm partial to as well. Okay. Well, let's introduce you a little bit to this instrument, because we said it was unique. It has stainless steel reeds. Now, that's different. As you probably know, a Hohner 280C, and just about all the Hohners, have a brass reed, which I think are a little bit prone to bend and crack and age and lose their pitch and require service. But the stainless steel does not have those problems. It is a more stable metal, and for many reasons, this is a maintenance-free harmonica, and I'll go into those reasons in a moment. So one thing that's unusual is the stainless steel reeds. And of course, you being a sound person, you're going to say, well, I love the sound.
Definitely.
Okay, so what's another technical characteristic? It has an aluminum alloy comb. Now, as you probably know, there are some metal comb harmonicas, but they tend to be extremely pricey, either solid silver, custom models from Hohner, or really very pricey models from Suzuki. I believe they're called Fabulous.
Yes.
Fabulous models. And so in a moderately priced harmonica, you get the metal comb. Now that gives you a sound that's unlike polymer or wood. And I would say, to my ear, better.
It's definitely different.
Okay. Now, we're still getting into the technical aspects before we get into the sound, because that's going to be you're just kind of waiting to talk about the sound. But the thing that's really marvelous about this particular harmonica is it doesn't have any problems. You know, the breast savers don't stick ever.
Why?
Ever.
Why don't
well,
they
okay.
stick?
Oh, that's a leading question. The reason that the breast savers don't stick on this model is that the breast savers have little teeny dimples. And those little dimples on the underside make it impossible for the breast saver to stick to the reed plate. And so whether it's warm or whether it's cold or whatever, the breast savers don't stick. And it also, because of the design of its what I call a 4-piece total mouthpiece, although actually it's probably more 3-piece. You could look at it that way too, because it has a kind of an H bar in it that goes from on top of this actual comb and before the mouthpiece. So I count that extra piece of metal. But it keeps itself clean, and I like that. So this is a harmonica. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to soak it. You know, you don't have to mess with the breast savers. You don't have to keep it warm like I do my other harmonicas to make them play right. So it's problem-free. So those are kind of, I think, some of the characteristics that you'll find with this instrument that are unusual. But let me give you the hump you're going to have to get over. I'll give you back yours, and here's mine. Okay, I didn't hold mine because I put some tape on the end, and I didn't want the manufacturer to see that. So I'll cover it. Okay.
Well, they just did.
I know. I have big hands, you know? I mean, okay. So why don't you talk a little bit, since you're a sound woman, about the sound of this harmonica?
I heard you playing yours, and at that point I began to covet getting one of my own.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
It's the sound that attracted me to the Seidel Saxony.
Okay.
It's bright, it's cheerful. If you want to stand out from the crowd, you're going to play one of these. And because it's bright and cheerful, it kind of goes around and tickles you as it goes past you. It makes you sit up and take notice.
It tickles you. I've never heard anyone say that before, but I kind of like that description. I have my own version coming, but she's still going. All right.
It makes you sit up and take notice. You cannot ignore the existence of this one, no matter what.
I think those are accurate statements from someone who's spent a lifetime listening to players of music on all kinds of... How many instruments do you play, by the way? 20? 22 maybe? Do you even know how many instruments you play?
I would literally have to sit down and count up what
More than 15 for sure?
Let's put it this way. When I was in training to become a teacher, we had to learn to play every instrument there is in a band and orchestra so that we could teach children. So I can get a sound on at least everything. Whether I can play it well or not is another story. And then there's several folk instruments that I can play as well. So
okay. So you have an ear, as they
whether
say.
it's good or not is debatable.
Okay. So I think that her comments were correct. I would say I describe this as a solo instrument. And by that I mean that when you're doing a solo, either by yourself or with other, band members, it's going to cut above the others, and it will stand out. The sound will stand out because of, as you say, its brightness. And it does have a different tone color to the ear than the phosphor bronze reeds of a Suzuki or the brass reeds of the Honers. And I'm just going to play a few notes here so you can get a feel for what is the sound of this instrument. So it's a very beautiful sound. It is on the brighter side, but it's very malleable and easy to play.
Definitely.
And that's another principal benefit of this instrument. And I remember when you got yours, and I said, you're going to find it takes about 60 to 70% of the amount of breath to activate these reeds as it does other harmonicas. And would you say that that's true?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I find this one, of all the harmonicas I have, and I've got 5 now.
Yeah.
This is the easiest one by far to start the sound, to keep it going, to be able to do bends, to do anything I want to do on it. And it's not that hard to get good intonation on it. It's just the easiest one to pick up and play. And periodically I have issues with my health, and when I start to get back to being able to play, this is the first one I'll pick up.
Okay. One of the things that I mentioned earlier was that there's a hump you're going to have to get over, which is the fact that this is not a 16-hole harmonica. It's a 12-hole harmonica.
Yeah, and that's its only limitation.
But they've got the sweet spot, I think, the section that you really want primarily with the instrument. But there are advantages to having a smaller harmonica, and one of them is that it's a lot easier to carry in a pocket. And you might laugh, but this is the only harmonica I own that I actually carry in my pocket covered with a sock. So
Yes.
It doesn't slide in and out. A white sock, by the way. So, and I think also if you see, I can actually cup almost, the entire instrument very comfortably in my hands, which makes controlling the tone with my hands easy. Because I can close it in. Now there's another perspective on instruments, which is how easy is it to bend the notes? Well, once these break in, they're very easy to bend on a draw. and
Just
a blow.
as easy to bend on the blow, definitely.
Here we go on a blow. And for those of you who have read You Can't Bend on a Blow.
Don't believe it.
No.
Don't believe it.
That was a blow. The other one was a draw. So my point is that it's very easy, in my opinion, to bend. But there is another perspective too. You want the harmonica to bend when you want it to bend, but you want it to hold its correct pitch on the notes when you don't want to bend. So it has to be stable enough to not be going flat all the time on draws, but at the same time be malleable to what we as artists want to do. And this is a very, to my ear, it is a very stable instrument, almost as stable pitch-wise as a Suzuki Sirius,
Yes.
which is a very stable instrument.
Definitely.
But again, the benefit is you're not going to be throwing your notes flat just because your embouchure might be off a hair or you're moving quickly over the note. And that is a big, big plus. So I'm going to say, I mean, the word that I kind of have for this is the little gem. And it's such a joke, you know, it's like the little gem, you know. But I think that's kind of how I view this, is it's a very, very special harmonica. It's a solo instrument, and it's a must-have
Yes.
in one's grouping, in my opinion. Yeah.
Tone-wise, it's the polar opposite of the Sirius.
Okay.
But it's just as versatile, and it's a must-have.
All right. Now
For
we
me.
get to give it a ranking from 0 to 10. 0 is a very poor score, and 10 is the best. And we're going to rank what score overall we're going to give to this instrument, the Seidel Saxony. What is the score you're going to give it? Go
First
ahead.
question I've got is, can I give more than one harmonica a 10?
Of course, this is just the
Okay.
Saxony review. Go ahead.
I can't be without it, so it's getting a 10.
Really? That seems so extravagant, if you don't mind my saying so. But I also...
Sorry.
Yeah, you don't look sorry to me at all.
It's mine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be without it.
I would also give this a 10. And I want to express a personal thanks to Rockin' Ron's in San Diego for calling me while I was cutting the grass after I had ordered a Seidel Sirius and a... Or, I'm sorry, no, a...
Get it straight.
Okay.
Come on,
It
stop
was a
and think.
Suzuki Sirius and a Suzuki SCX. I just ordered them. And he calls me up while I'm cutting the lawn. He goes, you know, there's another harmonica you really got to get. And I just got to. Leave me alone, you know. I got to cut the grass, and it was sweaty, and the
You
dogs
want
were
me to spend more money? Come on.
So he says to me, you got to get this Seidel Saxony, because I'm telling you, you're going to like it. There I was with all those negative thoughts in the grass and the leaves. And he was right. So thank you, Rockin' Ron, for suggesting this, and the input from Rupert Oisler as well, who's with the Seidel Company. An absolutely fantastic instrument. We both recommend, I believe, the orchestral tuning with the bright cover.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. So thanks for joining us.